Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Peace be upon you, our laughing and smiling dear children. May Allah bless you all with good health, life, and perfect faith. I told you all in my previous story, which is in the language of Urdu, that when it ends, I will also tell you a story about real Islamic heroes. Let's turn off the lights. Older children can recite Ayatul Kursi once, and the younger children can recite Allahu Akbar 3 times. Today's story is about Hazrat Suleiman. Hazrat Suleiman was the son of Prophet Hazrat Dawood. He inherited both prophethood and kingship from his father. When he took control of the government, he called his advisors, ministers, and important official personnel and said, Allah Almighty has blessed me. He has taught me the languages of birds and animals and has given me both prophethood and kingship. I am very thankful to Allah for these bounties. Once Hazrat Suleiman was passing through a valley with his battalion. Due to the heavy sounds of running horses and elephants of the battalion, the earth was shaking. Queen Ant, after hearing the sounds, told other ants, "Quickly, go into your burrows. The king Hazrat Suleiman and his battalion is coming and they might unintentionally crush you." Hazrat Suleiman also heard that conversation by the ants and understood it as like other animals. He used to understand ants' language too. On hearing all that, Hazrat Suleiman thanked Allah Almighty and said, "O Allah, you have blessed me by giving me so many blessings. Please make me always be grateful to you for all of these. O my Lord, include me among those who are pious and with whom you are happy." Afterwards, Hazrat Suleiman ordered his army to give way to the ants so that not even a single ant gets killed under their feet. He also had control over the jinns and wind. Later, Hazrat Suleiman prayed to Allah, "O Allah, give me the kind of government which no one would get afterwards." Allah Almighty had kept winds under Hazrat Suleiman's control. Wind blew by Suleiman's permission. Like wind, jinn were also under his control. Hazrat Suleiman used to ask them to perform hardest of tasks, and they did whatever he ordered them to. The jinns used to make palaces and forts, very big and heavy cooking pots, which were meant to be continuously kept on stove and no one could even move them. Those jinns also made such big tubs which looked like swimming pool after being filled with water. Some of the jinns also went under the depths of the oceans and brought precious stones and pearls from the bottom of seas and oceans. The jinns, who were very obstinate and non-believers, they could not move with Hazrat Suleiman's permission as he had kept them tied with heavy metallic chains. That's why, in the Hazrat Suleiman's era, the devil could not spread evil. Allah Almighty had blessed Hazrat Suleiman with the springs of brass from which brass flowed out like water. Hazrat Suleiman used all those blessings of Allah Almighty in spreading Allah's message. Jinns were asked to complete the construction of the worship place, which was started by Hazrat Suleiman's father, Hazrat Dawood. That was such a beautiful worship place that whoever saw it got impressed by it. In Hazrat Suleiman's era, some of the country's people and their kings both were non-believers. Those kings were cruel and worshipped more than one god. Hazrat Suleiman came to know about the cruelty of those kings through some birds. Once he was sitting with all the birds. Suddenly he found that Hopei is not there. Hazrat Suleiman asked, "Where is Hopei? Why can't I see her among you? Why she has disappeared without informing me?" He further said angrily, "I'm very angry on the bird and I will slaughter her if she did not tell the reason of her disappearance." After some time, Hopei reached there and brought a new news. After greetings, she said, "Oh my lord, I was in the country of Saba and have brought some latest news. The queen of this country is Bilquis. She has a beautiful throne in which precious stones and pearls are fixed. This country is very well off, but unfortunately, despite being blessed with so many blessings, they are non-believers. They don't believe in Allah's blessing, instead worship the sun. They prostrate in front of the sun. The devil has misled them, and they have completely forgotten Allah." After hearing all that, Hazrat Suleiman decided to write a letter to Queen Bilqis and sent her the message of Allah Almighty. Hazrat Suleiman wrote her a letter and gave it to her big bird and ordered her to drop the letter in front of the queen and see what the queen replies. The queen, after reading the letter, called all her courtmen and said, Hazrat Suleiman has sent me a letter and has written, in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful, don't be arrogant and stop believing on Allah. After reading the letter to them, the queen asked for their opinion. They replied, we are a powerful nation. We can fight with our enemies, but you should do whatever you think is right. The queen thought for some time and decided, there is no need of any fight as during war people of both sides will be killed. After thinking about the issue, I have decided that we will send some very precious gifts to Hazrat Suleiman. If he would accept these gifts, then it means he is also like other kings, and if he doesn't, and insists that we should accept his religion, then he is a real prophet. I am also sending a messenger, who will bring the news of their military strength, power, and weapons. Queen Bilqis's messenger told her after coming back that Hazrat Suleiman had refused the gifts. He just wanted us to start believing on one Allah and worship none other than Him. Queen Bilqis accepted the faith and started a journey with her chiefs and prominent leaders to meet Hazrat Suleiman. When Hazrat Suleiman heard the news of her arrival, he asked his fellows, among you who can bring Bilqis's throne here before her arrival? The person brought her throne in a blink of an eye. When the queen of Bilqis reached Hazrat Suleiman's palace, her faith became stronger that Hazrat Suleiman was the true prophet of the true Lord Allah. When she saw her throne there, she publicly announced her acceptance of faith. After a long time, Hazrat Suleiman died in his arch. At that time, he had taken support of his stick, and no one came to know about his death. When his stick broke down, his termites had eaten it, and Hazrat Suleiman's body fell down. Then everyone came to know that he had passed away. Thank you for listening. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, take care of yourself and your parents. Allah Hafiz.